Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me Monday morning. Remember, I'm here every morning at 8:30 a.m. So please join me if you like what I'm saying. Thumbs up. If you have any questions, you can ask them on the side. I am here to help answer your questions. If it's a stock question, if it's a market question, if it's an analytical question, how we look at certain things, please ask on the side. That's what I'm here to answer. So, a lot of interesting stuff this week. Now, I'm going to mention some key purchases that happened on Friday that lead me to think there's going to be more bullish movement in the market. But let's go back to Friday first. Anybody that joined me Friday, I gave you your bull case scenario. I gave it within the first 3 minutes of my live stream. I mentioned that we'd probably see 394 on the SPY and probably hit 396 in the extreme bull case scenario. Where did we finish? Right around 396, 395.88. So when we talk about market direction, there you go. My lotto plays from Thursday. Remember, Thursday I was in Disney. Disney went up over $100, 103.50. The options were $100 options. I think we paid about $89. Upstart in at 17 cents, 20 cents. Those went north of $160. So you're talking about a 700% move up. Delta Airlines, again, I mentioned, look for the low on Thursday. The low was 37. Boom. Delta ran up to like $39. Those options for $13, $15, and $23 were north of $1.90. So there are some ideas. I'm going to start talking about ideas. If you have questions, again, put them on the side. I'll let you know what kind of lotto ideas we have. But lots going on this week. So first, understand Tesla and Microsoft have earnings this week, okay? Tesla and Microsoft alone make up 9% of the SPY. So if Tesla and Microsoft disappoint and they make up 9% of the SPY, there's going to be downward pressure on the market. Vice versa. If Tesla performs extremely well for earnings and they beat and they come out with some good delivery numbers and Microsoft beats and their cloud service is improving and the number of active users is going up, then both stocks will go up. They will force the market higher. So we're going to talk about different SPY ranges. I'm going to get to that very quickly. I'm going to pull up what I do every morning to start the day. But first, understand here's what's on tap this week. We have PMI numbers for services on Tuesday. Remember, under 50 is a negative PMI, signs of recession. Over 50 is positive for the economy. Okay, manufacturing PMI, again, on Tuesday. So you have service and manufacturing. GDP, gross domestic product, Thursday, durable goods order. Thursday, jobless claims. Thursday, new home sales, which will be down. Thursday, PCE inflation numbers. Friday, pending home sales. Friday. So again, when you look at what's going to come out, PMI is probably going to come in around 54, maybe 52. GDP, again, people don't really care that much. So then I'm looking at jobless claims. Again, jobless claims, we already know about the layoffs happening in the tech world. It's new home sales. We know home sales suck. So we're really focusing on PCE inflation number, which is Friday. So with that said, Wall Street already understands what they're expecting from the Fed. Because remember, everything points back to the Fed. So the Fed will likely deliver 25 basis points hikes in quarter number one, followed by a long pause in hikes. That's what Reuters is saying. So what would that mean? It would mean February, 25 basis point hike in interest rate. Well, shit, we already know that's happening. It's already baked into the market. Okay, another 25 basis point hike, let's say March, maybe April, something to that extent. Again, it's not going to put that much downward pressure on the market. So you have to understand why I expected a bull run in the first quarter of the new year. Now, again, I didn't expect it all to happen within the first 3 weeks of the new year. It's a little ridiculous how much we've pumped up. So I'm going to talk about different SPY levels. And here's the interesting thing. You guys hear me talk about the dark pool all the time, right? This happened on the dark pool. What the dark pool is, it's an off-market exchange. Say you want to sell your house and you don't want to put it on the MLS listings. It becomes a pocket listing or a dark pool listing where only specific people know about it. So more than 50% of the market is traded on the dark pool, meaning you, I, the retail trader, has no clue what's going on unless you're part of a Discord and you look at dark pool levels, which we do. But here, I'll give you the case. Dark pool on Friday, right? There was $3 billion worth of SPY activity, okay? 390 was a key level, 395 was a key level, and around 11 a.m. on Friday, there was $3 billion worth of dark pool activity. That's 11 a.m. in the morning. So the fact that the dark pool came in 11 a.m. in the morning and then the market finished stronger as the day went on, that's an extreme bull case scenario. So again, What could change the bull case perception scenario? Well, earnings. Ton of earnings this week. Microsoft and Tesla. That is what's going to move the market. So I spoke about the SPY. I spoke about Microsoft and Tesla making up 9% of the S&P 500 by weight, and they have earnings this week. Here's the interesting thing. Trading Ticks put this out. Customer call positioning is sitting at one of the highest levels for Tesla in the last 2 years. So you could take a quick look at that. You could see Tesla was very negative until about 3 or 4 days ago, and then they just started buying the shit out of these Tesla call options. Now, why is that substantial? Because Kathy from ARK was buying 100,000 shares of Tesla each day. So I'm sure it was a big ARK and friends of ARK that were investing in these Tesla call options. What else? Okay, interesting, another thought. Cheddar flow, net inflows into U.S. equities, meaning inflow into the stock market, rolled by the biggest percent last week for retail investors. So if you want to just look at this, this is, again, retail investors are investing. Now, what does the market like to do? What does Wall Street like to do to retail investors? Yeah, they like to give you the middle finger. So retail investors are finally having faith back in the market, finally putting their money back in the market. Okay, and the market's going up. And then what will happen? A big rug pull. So I want to be extremely cautious. I want to make sure earnings come in, because here's what's happening. As the cost of money increases, right? You get the 2-year rate, the 10-year rate increasing. Corporations have to roll over their corporate debt. Now, understand, in the U.S., there's $11 trillion worth of corporate debt. Around the world, excluding the U.S., there's 11 trillion more of corporate debt. So as the 2-year rate, the 10-year rate go up, it makes it more expensive to refinance. Why is that important for you and I? Because as corporations refinance, their earnings per share get diluted. Their earnings per share go down. Now, if the earnings per share goes down and the price stays constant, right, that means the PE will go up. So usually the PE has to fall in line with earnings. If earnings go down, the price will usually go down. So again, pay specific attention to earnings. Now, it mentioned, somebody asked about Netflix. Can we go over Netflix? Remember, on Friday, I gave great entry and exit into Netflix. This is pre-market. Somebody asked, I said the most important thing with Netflix earning isn't how much money they're making, it's the number of subscribers they have. So the estimate on Netflix was 4.5 million. They came in at like 6.7 million or 6.6 million. The stock shot up. So Netflix pre-market, what did I mention? On Friday, I said $333 would be great entry, and I would get out right around $340 because that's where Netflix tends to top out. What happened to Netflix on open on Friday? It went down to $332 and change, maybe even a little lower. What happened right after? It popped back up to $341. So there's your Netflix play. Now, would I be buying Netflix going forward? I mean, here's the thing. You've got earnings coming out for Amazon, for Tesla, earnings coming out for Microsoft. If the market shoots up, then understand Tesla's going to shoot up. Netflix will shoot up. So from Netflix going from 341, I've heard the number on the street mentioned 375, 380, 381, something to that extent. So understand, Netflix still has another 10% to run if we go and switch and flip the switch and we're in a bull market. With that said, if that runs, then you're looking at AMD. AMD is what, $70, $72 this morning pre-market? Because I saw someone had a question about AMD. If the market decides to run higher, you're talking about the SPY going to about 410 or 420 before it would retract. So you're talking about 5%. So if you look at 5% and you say AMD is going to be a buy and AMD is right at $70, 5% of $70, you'd say about $3.50. AMD tends to double or triple that. So I would put a top on AMD if the market decides to run of somewhere around $79 or $80. That's just my thought process. There are a bunch of stocks we can talk about, and that's what I'm going to get into right now after I talk about the SPY. So SPY levels. Let's talk about combining them Friday and today. What do we know about the SPY? Well, we know that it tended to reject the $400 level. Psychological trading right there. So again, what am I looking for? As we're sitting probably up pre-market 396.60 on the SPY. Where would I look for it to reject? I would look for it to reject 399. So what does that tell you? It tells me right out of the gate, and this is something I rarely do. I rarely enter into option contracts right out of the gate. But if I happen to believe the market is showing me strength over the weekend, I know that Friday had 3 different dark pool purchases of $3 billion. So that tells me the market should continue to be strong. What could flip the market? Well, data that we're getting this week. So I already mentioned what data we're expecting this week. And most of the data that I'm looking for isn't coming until GDP on Thursday, durable goods Thursday, jobless claims Thursday, new home sales Thursday, PCE Friday, pending home sales Friday. So if we continue into a bull market until, let's just say, maybe Wednesday afternoon, you're talking about 3 days. Okay, 3 days. Let's just take on average 1% move in the market. You're talking about SPY 4 points. We closed at 396. You're talking about 400. Then you're talking about 404 and 408. So yeah, 410 is possible this week in a bull case scenario. Okay, you're talking about 410. We're at 396. So it's the same way on Friday when we were 390, and I'm expecting 396. Shit, there's money to be made. Again, so please, you're not chasing, you're not buying the ass. Real important. Somebody asked me about money management. They saw one of my small accounts made 856% over the last month. Of course, I've got some clown comments like, hey, man, would you throw it all into a lotto play? Hey, would you do this? Would you do that? No. Here's what you do when you're trading a small account, large account. It doesn't really matter. You want to take 10% of your account per position. So you're like, okay, I heard him mention AMD that it could run up to like $79. I'll buy an AMD call. I have $1,000. I want to use $100 of that money. That way, if I'm incorrect and I need to average down and it goes down, it drops 40%, I could buy 2 more contracts. I'm still going to be in for $180 total, okay, of my $1,000. The thing is, you do not want to over leverage yourself. So it's money management. Now, here's the mistake I made on Friday. I called the SPY going up to 396, at least 394, possibly 396. My lotto plays of Disney and Upstart, I should have held them for max value. Upstart, I got 221% return on that, whereas it yielded over 700% return. So I said the market, which was at 391 on the SPY, was going to 396. Well, any type of call options I should have been holding. Why didn't I? Because I had 2 appointments on Friday. I was picking up my youngest daughter who was sick, and I just didn't want to look at the market. So yeah, I mean, I had valid reasoning, but not really, because if you tell yourself the market is going to this level or that level, then your options should follow along. So again, let's talk about the SPY levels. What I'm doing, first thing I'm doing in the morning is I'm pulling up Discord, and I'm going to the dark pool levels on the SPY. And I'm going to say, okay, here's a larger level, $17 billion, 396.70. So that wouldn't surprise me if we reject or it turns into support. So I look at the SPY pre-market and I go 396.53. So we're almost there. So again, the first number I'm going to write down is 396.70. Understanding if we break 396.70 and it acts as support, then we're going back to the next dark pool level, which is 399, I believe, or right around, 399. So 399.400. Okay, so let's just start again. Here we are, pre-market. We closed at 396. Next dark pool level higher up that you're looking to see if it holds support or resistance will be 396.70. We're very close to that pre-market. If we break that pre-market, which is what I'm expecting, then we're going to ride up to the 399.50 level or right around 400 on the SPY before it rejects. It will reject. It's not going to break through on the first attempt. Now, will it break through later today? Possibly. I mean, we're talking about there's no real news or data besides for earnings that could really tilt the market in a bearish direction until at least Thursday. So you really have to pay attention to earnings. Now, what you're looking for in earnings is you're looking for the forecasting. It's not just earnings per share. You're looking for the forecasting going forward because, again, 50% of the population thinks we're heading to recession in this year, 2023. And again, we don't have to head into recession in the U.S. If China heads into recession, if the UK, if France, if the if the European Union heads into recession, Greece, Italy, then understand there's a blanket movement. It's going to affect the U.S. If China has issues, it's going to affect the U.S. If the U.S. has issues, it's going to affect China. Okay. So again, going to the dark pool level, let's add it up. Let's give us a bear case scenario as well. So here we are. Bear case scenario. We reject 396.70. There's a very small dark pool at 394. So there's a chance if we go down, you're going to go down. Again, bear case scenario. We're starting at 396.70. If that rejects, 394 is the next level down. If 394 doesn't hold, then you're looking at 392 on the way down. So again, if I were going to make a play today, I'm going to say, okay, I'm looking for market strength, but I'm looking for the market to give a little at some point in the morning and go down, because what's going to happen at open, I think we're going to spike up. I think we're going to curl around and come down and then go to a lower level. Once we bottom for the day, I think we'll see a crater, meaning a U-shape or a V-shaped recovery. So my strategy today is I'm looking for the lowest level. The same strategy I had on Thursday, the same strategy I have on Friday. Shit, the same strategy I have every day. What I do strategically is I say, okay, is the market likely to go up or down? Well, there's more bull case scenario based on the activity that we saw in the dark pool level and based on the activity we saw in the SPY and based on the volume for the SPY on Friday. So I say, okay, bull case scenario, great. Next scenario, I don't want to chase. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for a pop, a drop, and a drop. And when I finally see a turnaround, and again, I use the 1 minute chart to snipe it. I use the 3 minute chart to kind of confirm, and the 5 minute chart to tell me I'm going to be right. Once the 5 minute chart tells me I'm going to be right, I'm looking for a double bottom. We all hear that expression, double top, double bottom. So just because I see the bottom and I see it once and I miss my opportunity because I want to confirm, if I guess that this is the bottom and then we go to a lower level, shit, I'm down 20, 30, 40% on whatever option it is. So I want to make sure I know the bottom. It's better if you can confirm that you're going to be correct on the turnaround. Okay, let's just see. I got a couple more comments here. Okay, 2-year bonds just dropped. Look at the 2-year compared to the FOMO rate hikes. They have never crossed. They've always followed each other. All right, let's take a quick look at it. Let's just take a look at the U.S. dollar. That's how I start every morning. I want to go to the U.S. dollar. Again, we were right around 102, and we're at 101.97. We just spiked a little to 102. So understand the U.S. dollar was down here all weekend, 101.60. Now we're back to 102. Anything over 102 as we head up to 102.50 on the U.S. dollar, which is the DXY, it will put downward pressure on the market. So pay specific attention, careful attention. I mean, if you zoom out and you look at the 5-day, shit, we just filled the gap. We're right here. So it's not like a major move. Now, if we move up here and we go towards 102.40 or 102.50 on the U.S. dollar, that will put downward pressure on the market. So when I tell you, bear case scenario, U.S. dollar goes up to 102.46, the market goes down, the SPY breaks down, we break 394 and we see 392. So again, bear case scenario, plan accordingly, 392 on the SPY. Bull case scenario, shit, okay, we'll break 400, but just slightly, so maybe 401.06, something to that level. Again, I believe that the SPY will have a fight. It's not like everybody's turning bearish or bullish. Let's just see what's happened to the 2-year and 10-year, see if there's any change. Okay, yeah, the 10-year spiked, but it spiked about 2 basis points. It's not any major movement, maybe 3 basis points. It's 3.538 right now. Let's look at the 2-year. Okay, again, it's spiking, but only about 2 basis points, which isn't anything really significant. But you'll keep your eye on it because it is moving with the U.S. dollar. So as all of those move higher, that's what you have. I normally just exit, come back at 8:30. Okay, any lottos for today? Okay, we could talk about lottos. Do I have any specific lottos for today? No, not yet. But here's what you do. All right, first, you decide whether you're going to be bullish or bearish in the market. So let's just come up with both case scenarios. Bull case scenario is the SPY goes to 410 by Thursday. It goes up 3 or 4% by Thursday. That means your speculative plays, your more tech-friendly spec plays like Upstart, Affirm, Roku, Roblox, probably a Lucid in there. Anything that doesn't have significant earnings really have PE, but is more of a spec play. Teladoc, right? Kathy loves Teladoc. Again, I stay away from that. I would rather companies that have earnings. So we'll go back to an AMD or an NVIDIA or something like that. If you want to play a crypto kind of stock, we have on our platform this morning, have Coinbase. So I'll just give you the scenario. I believe Cool Chick already tweeted about it, but let's just see if I can find that real quick. All right, Coin. Here we go. So Coinbase, here we go. Calls above $55.17. And again, you can follow SOC_trading on Twitter. We give out our free watch list play every day. It's provided by Romeo or Bfinger or Tyler Drake. So again, calls above 55.17, puts below 54.16. That's what we're looking at today as far as Coinbase goes. Let me just see if we have anything else. So if you have any questions, please ask on the side. Let's just see what we have here. Any more questions? Nope. You get a delayed message when you join on. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so again, scenarios. We'll just do it one more time. Quick recap. Okay, overall, I zoom out. I say, look at the buying in the dark pool levels on Friday. Definitely bull case scenario. I look at the data in the market and I say, what could turn the market besides for earnings? Well, the data that can really turn the market is really not due out until Thursday and Friday this week. So as long as last week we kind of ended and we filled that gap back up, we're likely to push higher. So then I say to myself, what are the rejection levels to look for? On the SPY, we want to look for 396.70. If it breaks through 396.70, then we want to look right above 400, 450 cents, something like that. Understand 400 is a psychological level. If we break 400, next level up is 402.50, followed by 406, followed by 409, followed by like 413. Why do I mention that? Because by Thursday, if the bull market continues and we see green today, Tuesday, Wednesday, then you're going to see 409, 410, 411 on the SPY come Thursday. If there's rejection, and understand we're right at the 200-day moving average, the VIX is back under 20. It's probably closer to like 19 or 18. Let's just see where the VIX is right now. Historically, it's found support at this level. Historically, the market tends to reject the 200-day moving average. So again, looking at the VIX is at 1985, which is below 20. Again, we bounced last week on Friday and Thursday up to 2166. So that's a pretty significant 8% move. So again, I'll be watching the VIX, US dollar, 2-year and 10-year today. I'm sure some Fed speakers this week. But again, the market is expecting 25 basis points in February, 25 basis points probably in March or April, and then a big pause. So with that big pause, that's telling you could be bullish the market. Again, I would be extremely cautious. I want to watch the 2-year, the 10-year, the US dollar. I want to know my inflection points, 400, 402, 406, 409. On the way down, if we break down, you're looking at 394. Break 394, we're looking at 392. Break 392, we're going to hit that 390 magical number again. Remember, last week, the support level was 388.25. We approached that 3 times. We went slightly under there, but the market bounced strongly off 388. So we're looking for the same thing. Even if the market contracts a little, you're looking at that level that you say, okay, well, the market doesn't drop lower than 392. That's my point to get into calls. Or you could say, hey, 394 is the turnaround. That's when I'm going to get into calls because it's likely until we have the data later in the week that we'll probably have more of a bullish run. Again, pay attention, extreme attention to Microsoft earnings and Tesla earnings, Tesla deliveries. Remember, Tesla put their cars in discount in China. Tesla's sales the last 2 weeks in China are through the freaking roof. Calls and Tesla are being bought up for the last 1, 2, 3, 4 trading days. So understand what people are expecting. All right. And Kathy's been loading Tesla. With that said, I am heading over to Discord. Please follow me over there if you'd like. Romeo's doing probably 2 to 3 live streams this week. I believe on Thursday he'll be doing a live stream on YouTube. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you didn't ask a question today, I can't answer it. If you ask questions on the side, I can answer it. Thumbs up if you like what I do, and I'll see everybody here tomorrow morning. Have a great day of trading. Be